Welcome back to The Secret Life of Parkinson's. I'm your host, Jessica Krauser, and I'm here with Brian Baker.
Hello.
And Brian, we're talking about you today.
It's all about me.
I know, we have no special guests, so you're the special guest.
I am very special.
You excited?
I am so excited. What can you talk about me?
I know. Well, so we're going to talk another DBS discussion. I feel like we talk about DBS a lot, but I think it's really important because it's bringing awareness out to everybody that is not aware that there's surgery options and thinking that medication is the only way, which medication is still very important. But let's talk about what you went through. We had a quick initial segment, but it was only a few minutes. So take us back. What happened?
So I went in the end of June, towards the end of June. And
Actually, a little bit more excited about it.
It was awesome. I went in the end of June, and I went to the Cleveland Clinic.
Uh-huh.
I got to hang out up there all night.
Awesome.
And then they came in at 7 o'clock in the morning. They wheeled me down to the operating room, which is where the panic kind of set in. You know, and when I was there, I was like, oh, this is fine. I know what I'm getting into. Then as they're wheeling me down to the operating room, I'm thinking, what the heck am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? What's going on? You're really going to let them open your head? You're really going to let them shove probes in you? And so by the time I got to the operating room, they put you in like a little bay outside the operating room while they get it all prepped. I'm in full-blown panic mode. I'm like, I need to get off this. Yeah, I was like, I need to get off this bed. And I'm like, there's nothing tying me to this bed. There's nothing.
Were you all by yourself?
Yeah, because you're just sitting there like, wait, they're like, you see the people running in and out of the operating room, getting everything ready. And then I'm like, I need to get off this bed and just run the other way. I need to run the other way as fast as I can. And then,
but you didn't.
So no, because then I talked myself back down. I was like, okay, Roz did it, Steve did it, Rick and Tom did it. I started naming off all the people I know that were successfully went through it, and they all said it was life-changing. So, yeah, I talked myself off the ledge a little bit, and then I started joking around with the doctors as, they ask you, do you know why you're here? And I'm like, yeah, for an appendectomy, right? Or, and they're like, they give you that strange look at first, and they realize you're joking, and so... it was
you need to calm them down too.
Yeah, well they said before the surgery, like, we have to get you calmed down because your blood pressure's a little higher. I was like, oh, I can't imagine that.
Yeah. So like take a step back though, and how did you finally decide that DBS was for you?
So I talked to my MDS about it directly, and he was pretty familiar with it, and he recommended it as well. So then I went to the Cleveland Clinic and talked to another neurologist.
But why did you do that? Are you sick of the medicine?
Yeah,
or are you sick of...
I take so many pills. So like I think I told you before the surgery, I'm up to, or was up to, like 12 pills a day. And you get to the point where you're just like, I can't take any more. I can't swallow another pill. Like I just can't physically do it sometimes. There's that, and I said when I got diagnosed with this disease, I was going to do everything I could to make the quality of life the best it can be, as long as it can be. And I think I was at that point where I'm exercising, I'm working, I'm doing things to keep my brain sharp. What's the next step? And this was the logical next step for me.
And this deep brain stimulation, it doesn't slow Parkinson's, but it brings you back? Or like, are you able to explain that? I can't remember.
I don't. Yeah, basically, it's just another way
to minimize,
mask the disease. It doesn't cure it. I mean, we all have it, and you've seen what happens when you turn it off with Steve, for example. So we all have it. We won't get rid of it, but it's another option, to the medicine that we take.
Yeah.
So and it just came down to me, like, this is, talking to people that have had it done, talking to the doctors, he honestly, the surgeon said he would expect with somebody my age to get 70, 80, 90% improvement in my movements.
That's awesome.
So if that, even if you get any of that, is better than none.
So what was it like after they wheeled you in? Because you're awake, right?
Yeah.
Or did they put you to sleep first?
Well, they do a little bit of both. So they shave your head, and they were like...
Which you do, I think, good thing. You have a nice shaped head, just like Roz did. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
I got a little bump up here. You can't hardly see it now, but it's where all the wires are at still. So
that's right.
So they're all tied in up here. But they shave your head, and then they were like... So they must have, like, put me out in between shaving my head, and, like, they were washing my head, getting ready for surgery. I was like, and they woke me up, and I was like, "Are we done?" And they're like, "No, we haven't even started yet." I was like, "Oh."
Aw.
So basically, they put you out and they drill the hole, and they wake you up as they're putting like basically a little microphone down into your brain, and you are awake and you're hearing your brain fire off. So they're like you hear like white noise or like rain on a tin roof.
Really?
And that's your brain firing off. It's crazy.
Huh.
And so they stick the probe down there, and they'll hook a computer up to it, and they'll be running tests, and they'll say, "Can you say the days of the week?" And of course you have a tube down your mouth and tubes up your nose.
Is it painful?
No, because you don't feel anything.
Oh.
So they have local anesthesia for the cut here, and then with your brain, there's no nerve endings in your brain, so you don't feel any of that.
But I mean, even like having like the tubes in, like
it's just you're just disoriented. You're like, I can't talk because I have a tube in my mouth. Okay. Why don't you get this?
But it doesn't make you weren't scared.
No, you have like a mask or like a shield over top of you too, with bright lights, and they're talking to you, and they're like, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm making jokes and trying to be funny, the funny guy, and stuff, and
probably like, shut up, just answer the question.
Yeah, they're probably like, just quit. And like the whole time I kept trying to raise my head because your natural instinct is to like sit up, and so I was like, I kept trying to tell myself to just relax. And so hopefully I'm hoping this next time I go in here in a few weeks that I'll know what to expect, so I'll be more relaxed when I go in.
Well, because you know what to expect, you do feel more relaxed, or are you a little bit?
No, I'm like, okay, I know what to expect. I know how things are gonna go. Hopefully I get the same cute nurses that I got last time. That was a nice little surprise.
And you had one side done. Now you're getting the other side.
I had the left side done, which affects the right side of my body.
Yeah.
And now I'll have the left side done, which will affect the right side done, which will affect the left side.
And not everybody gets that. Some people just do one side, right?
Yeah, I think some people do one side. I've also seen it where they do both sides at the same time.
Oh.
I can't imagine that because we were in there for 4 hours, I think.
4 hours?
I think they started surgery right around 8, and we were in there at least until 12.
Did it feel that long, or were you just out of it enough?
You're just out of it enough to go, but then you got to go to the PACU, and then you have to go to the before you get back up to the ICU. I think it was just at the end of the day, you're just so tired. You're just like.
So what did you do though after like 12 o'clock and you were like done? What did?
So I went to the PACU, which is like the post-surgical area, whatever it stands for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was stuck there for 3 hours because I couldn't get my medications right. So they kept ordering the Cinnamate, and the Ryteria would automatically get deleted, and they kept ordering the Ryteria, and the Cinnamate would get deleted. So I was like, I don't care. Just give me one of them. Give me none of them. I don't care. Just get me out of here. And like, we got it. We got a straight file. We just need your medication to get up here. So.
But you felt like.
Yeah, I felt fine. I felt good that whole day. I mean, I was out of it a little bit still. But the next morning, so they take you back up to the ICU. The next morning, like, I was ready to go. 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm ready to get out of here.
So you stayed the night in the hospital.
Correct.
And then you left the next day?
Yeah. So about I was there until like right around lunchtime, and I was like, can I please leave? They're like, yeah, you can go.
I was in the hospital longer when I had an appendectomy.
Yeah. It's funny because, like I said, I literally could have came home that day and been fine. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So now that you know what it's like, going in and knowing like what's happening, how do you feel about what is to come? And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, what did you feel initially, and what does that excite you for what's going to happen?
So,
the feeling.
I talked to a lot of people, and I think it is a personal choice, and it's a personal choice when you decide to have this done.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you there's a window, but you can't be too advanced in your Parkinson's where you start to have cognitive issues,
mm-hmm.
and you can't be early enough in your Parkinson's where the medication is working just fine for
mm-hmm.
you. So there is that window. And I've talked to people that have Parkinson's, and they're like, "There's no way I could do that.
mm-hmm.
That's a personal choice."
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna fight this disease with everything I have and everything I can do, and this
mm-hmm.
is the next step. And the thing is, it's not permanent. If I need it pulled out, they can pull it out. If I need it turned off, I can turn
really?
it. Yeah,
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, if you need it turned off, you
mm-hmm.
just turn it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a permanent fix.
Yeah.
If you don't want it to be.
But you talked about a honeymoon period.
So yeah, so there is what they call the honeymoon period, and I think I know I talked to Melissa about this a lot lately because so the first 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks I was out of the hospital, it felt like I never had Parkinson's. Like it was great. I was like, this is what it felt like before I had Parkinson's. I can move fine. I can my smile. I felt like I was smiling more. I was like everything was back to the way it used to be. And now within the past week or so, it started to slowly creep back in there, like foot cramping up.
But why? Because because
I think your body's getting used to that probe being in there. It's caused by trauma.
But you're going back to where you were because you don't have the implant.
Yeah,
turn it on.
The implant's not turned. There's nothing to turn on right now.
It's a slow process of.
Yeah, so it's been for like 2 weeks I was riding my bike again, and I was out doing I was doing things I hadn't done in forever because like I said, my balance felt good. I didn't feel tired all the time. I was like, this is great. This is what it was like before I had PD, and then like I said, in the past week, it's like, oh, my foot cramped up this morning, and I couldn't hardly walk on it again. And then
you're slower in your movements.
I'm slower in my movements. I'm like, I was just setting my hands on you, like that was slow. I'm like,
I was watching. I was like going down like this, and that's But so the exciting part is you had that 2 week of.
Oh, it was worth it. Just having that 2 weeks.
But I mean, that when they turn you on in August, right?
Yeah, the end of August.
Then I know it still takes time after that, but essentially you're going to feel.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll get the same feel. If I'm lucky, I'll get the same feeling for 2 weeks after they do this probe on the right side. Get that feeling, get back again, hopefully, and then, like I said, about 2 weeks after that, they'll do the battery implant, and then they turn on the August 23rd.
And you're still on medication? I'm
still on medication, even though I kind of cut some of it out.
Did you?
I didn't tell anybody that, though.
Oh, I hope your doctor's not listening.
I don't know.
I think he watches sometimes. Anything else that you would like to share that you wish you knew?
Yeah, like I said, we all made it sound like it was like great, and it was nothing to it. It is scary. It is. My family was scared. My son was scared. Even though the vendor that I've chose, the device I chose to use, a vendor rep, met with him and went over in depth, like how things are going to go, how it works, what it's going to do, and so he felt comfortable with that. He met with a surgeon, and the surgeon went over everything and stuff, and so put him at ease a little bit. But it's you have that moment, you're like, what the heck am I doing? Like, get me out of here. I'm not that bad off. Moment, but. At the end of the day, I'm glad I've done the left side, I guess, or done the one side, and I can't wait to get the other side done.
Good. I like to equate it to the example I gave you. It's like when I was having the twins and I was going in for my C-section, you're laying on the table. It's like, well, I'm here. Yeah. I don't want this to happen, but it's coming.
Yeah, there's, like I said, it was like one of those. The whole time I was going down the hallway, I'm like, I'm not there yet. I can back out. I can back out. There's nobody's cutting anything open. I can go. I can get off this bed and run the other way. And then, like I said, I talk myself back off the ledge a little bit.
I'm glad you didn't jump out a window or anything.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Windows.
Well, good. Well, we will definitely hear more from you. So next week you get your other side done. August you get your battery, and the end of August they turn it on.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So we'll get updates all in between. So
good times.
Thank you for sharing.
It's nothing
this
else.
Very personal journey.
Oh, there's nothing more I'd want to do than share with you guys.
Love it. All right, so in our last 30 seconds, if it's 30 seconds or not, we're not really always sure. But
30 seconds.
Actually, before we leave it to their last 30 seconds, please make sure that you subscribe.
Yes. And
that subscribe button. Recommend us to friends or send us to anybody in your community, because we're going to follow along Brian's journey and also have other more interesting, exciting topics.
Exciting topics coming your way.
Yes. So anyways, though, I will leave you the rest with this. So far, we've talked to Roz, we've talked to Steve, and now Brian. Hopefully the awareness is growing that there are things other than medication that is available. Is medication still important? Absolutely. But talk to your doctor if you think you could be a candidate for DBS or Deep Brain Stimulation. Because there's never a better time to try and feel like yourself again than like the present. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll check in with you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.